Hi everybody, in today's Ask David, I answer questions about shutter speeds. Hey David, what does shutter speed do? I really don't understand what's going on. Shutter speed is one of the three ways you can control how much light enters your camera, and it has some really good creative uses. A slow shutter speed makes things look blurry. A fast shutter speed freezes things. So for instance, if you drop some water into some water at a fast shutter speed, it will look like it's frozen, like water that's been frozen but not ice. You've probably seen pictures like that. If you take a picture of a waterfall at a second-long exposure, it's going to look like the water is gossamer thread being draped over some rocks because the movement of the water has been blurred. So from a creative point of view, shutter speed is how you can control the amount of motion that your image captures. But what shutter speed actually is how large of a gap there is in your shutter curtain. So if you've seen the inside of your camera, you'll see that there's a shutter curtain inside of there. And you might have actually pushed the shutter button when you didn't have any film in it and seen that the shutter curtain opens, and then another one comes behind it, and then when you advance the film, they both reset positions. Those shutter curtains will always move at the same speed, which is a fast speed, because it has to move fast to allow a proper exposure. So when you change the shutter speed, you're not changing the speed at which the shutter curtains move. The shutter curtains move with a gap between them. So look at your camera right now, and you can see that if you have an older manual film camera, there's a number on your shutter speed dial that's going to be red or something like that, probably a 60th of a second. That's the fastest shutter speed at which one curtain opens, the entire film plane is exposed to light for a brief moment, and then the second curtain closes behind it. Everything slower than that, 1/30th, the same thing happens, and then the film is exposed to light all at once for slightly longer. 1 second, it's a very long time between when the first curtain opens and then the second one closes. But what happens if your shutter speed's faster than that? The curtains can't physically move any faster. So let's say you set it to 1/500th. The first curtain's going to open, and then the second curtain's going to go right behind it. So instead of the whole film plane being exposed to light for a moment, only a slit will be exposed to light for any given period of time during the exposure. So the shutter isn't controlling the speed that the curtains move or the speed that the blades move, but the size of the gap between them. That has the effect of allowing fewer photons onto the film, which for a shorter burst, like a 1,000th, or for fast cameras, a 4,000th or 12,000th of a second, means you can really stop action in its place. So shutter speed is two things. It's the gap between the shutter curtains as they open and close, and it's the way that you can control how your film records the passage of time.